Welcome back, everyone, to the Survivor Girl podcast. I am your hostess, Alice, aka the Survivor Girl. We've been away for quite a while, but now we're back. Cancer never sleeps, never abates, and the only way to continue to support those new to this journey is to keep providing information and a place where the stories of survivors and survivorship can be heard. That being said, while I don't have any guests for today's episode, I wanted to share some advice, answer some questions, and explain how I came to be an advocate and activist. These last few months, have seen more family and friends be diagnosed with cancer, and it's called on me to step up and play a bigger role. Being a survivor means there's an expectation for me to have answers to basic questions like, what's treatment going to be like? What will the side effects be like? And even, how can I support someone going through this battle? As difficult and painful as it is to talk about my own battle, I know my story needs to be heard to give others strength that they too can fight this monster and win. So let's talk about some things that I try to convey to people in my journey as Survivor Girl. Often I get people who tell me they don't know how to talk to their friend or family member about their cancer battle. What do I say to them? My advice is always the same. First, don't talk about their cancer. They know they have cancer and they know where they are in their fight. If they want to talk about it, let them bring it up and discuss it. Otherwise, please don't bring it up. This journey is very personal and extremely painful. And while you may mean well checking on their health, what they want most is to not think about what their body is going through. Talk to them about family, about life, about vacation plans and places to visit. Most of all, try to make them laugh. Laughter really is the best medicine and does help heal the soul, even when the body is suffering. Me personally, I was fortunate at the time of my cancer fight to have a friend who was a stand-up comedian who would just call me and do his routine. He would make me laugh for hours and hours until I would start to feel better, at least emotionally. I would even joke with him about what going through treatment was like, because as much as my body was hurting, I had to learn to laugh at the small, silly things that would happen along the way. The blood draws that went wrong, or the times when the cleaning the port took too long, or whatever the case was. You found little ways to laugh and you shared those with people so that they understood that you were still finding ways to find joy even in the midst of your pain. You may think cracking jokes with a cancer warrior is inappropriate, but in a time of great physical and emotional pain, it truly is a healer. Please don't be afraid to make them laugh. People also ask me what they can send or bring as a gift. This will vary depending on the person, but personally, I didn't like flowers when I was going through treatment. Flowers die, and the last thing I wanted to think about was dying. I always suggest gifting stuffed animals and popsicles. It may seem silly to bring a stuffed animal to an adult especially, but trust me, it usually brings joy and smiles. It's something to hold on to on those really tough days when you're too sick to be around other humans. And popsicles are good when you're too nauseous or too tired to get up and eat. They also help with the mouth sores and the metallic taste from chemo that develops for many patients. Keep your gifts light and simple. Don't worry about having to spend lavish money. They just enjoy the effort that you put into it. Small, cute things is what I always tell people. One thing I ask people not to do is bring up friends or relatives who passed from cancer. I had this happen several times during my battle. While I know the person didn't mean any harm and were just trying to relate to what I was going through, Telling someone battling cancer about someone dying from the same kind of cancer is not helpful. It's not necessary to relate. Just be supportive and understanding. And while pity may seem like the appropriate response, it actually isn't. Cancer warriors don't want pity. They want to be heard and supported. Support doesn't have to be anything more than a listening ear, a hug, or an offer for lunch on days when they feel well. I was thankful to have people who meal prep for me or even just got me out of the house on days when I was really down. Remember, depression is very common for cancer warriors. Your brain goes to the darkest places and the worst outcomes. Often come sit with them or take them to a park or to lunch. Keep their mind occupied and give them pleasant, happy memories. Ask them about their future plans. Give them ideas for good vacation spots. I always appreciate people who listen to what I wanted to do after I battled cancer. It gave my mind something to focus on other than what my body was being put through. Questions helped them to refocus. What do I want to do? Even when talking with someone in end stage of cancer, keep the conversation light and happy. End stage warriors know that they will transition soon. You don't need to remind them. Just give them time and space and a place to be joyful and happy. Take their mind off the fact that they are in end stage. Again, they know they are in end stage. Just breathe their source of comfort more than anything else. Most of all, please don't cry and expect us to comfort you because of our cancer. Remember, we are barely holding it together emotionally most days. And I get it's hard to see us suffering, but we can't both try to keep ourselves upbeat and comfort you too. This doesn't mean you can't cry with us or cry when you're not around us because you feel bad for what we're going through. But wanting to be consoled by us through our pain is asking a lot of us at a very painful time. And it feels kind of selfish on your part. You want me to console you for my suffering isn't fair to me. So be fair and just don't ask us to console you. Remember, cancer is not a death sentence nowadays. Advancements in treatment mean people can not only survive, but thrive. Even with stage 4 cancer, I have met many thrivers who are years into metastatic cancer and still living tremendous lives. Be a source of light, of comfort, of joy, of peace. You don't have to have the answers or even the right words because honestly, there are no right words. Just be there fully and be genuine. Do not cut off your friend who is battling cancer. One of the most painful things I endured during my journey was people who stopped speaking to me. Some of the ones who did reach out to me later admitted they didn't know what to say and were scared to talk to me. Please don't do this. It's very hurtful for people you love to stop talking to you during the hardest fight of your life. Again, it's not about having the right words. It's about being there and being a friend. Friendship, kindness, love, support, and compassion are the driving forces that help warriors battle cancer. You have to keep a positive mindset even on your worst days, and that's not easy. Being surrounded by good people helps make it bearable on those really hard days. Be a source of solace, not sorrow. Remember, no one chooses cancer. Cancer chooses them. Becoming an activist and advocate was something I chose to do because I know how hard beating cancer is and what it takes to go through the journey and out the other side. Many people who face this monster choose not to talk about it once their fight is complete. It's not an easy topic to open up about. Choosing to give back isn't easy. I have lost so many people over the years, and each loss is soul crushing. But if sharing my story and my advice and guidance helps one more warrior, one more family, one more friend face this battle with courage and conviction, then the calls, the text messages, the late night conversations, the cancer walks, and even this podcast are all worth it. Be strong, warriors. This is not where your story ends. Family and friends of warriors, lift them up in prayer and give them encouraging words and support. Cancer will always plague this world, and we must be there for each other when it comes. Have faith, have courage, and most of all, have love for one another. Well, you guys, that's our show for today. I want to thank you all for listening. You can follow me on social media at The One Survivor Girl on Instagram or on Blue Sky at survivorgirlpodcast.com. You can check out my website at www.survivorgirlpodcast.com. Again, that's our show. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you back here next time.